Hi guys, I am doing my Q&A session. I had a few good questions, so I am going to jump right in. Just gonna do, you know what, let's do this. Let's try to get a new angle. Get my babies in it. There are some babies you haven't seen in a while. Sorry for the glare, that's where the light's sitting. There we go. So, try to get a different angle. I'm just going to jump right in it. So, I had a few questions that were on there. One of them is, where can I get some clothes to fit my RealCare 2 baby? The RealCares and the neonates and Baby Think It Over, first of all, people get RealCare and Baby Think It Over mixed up. They're the same thing. Excuse me. The company started out as Baby Think It Over, and they solely did the dolls. She's obviously not in the shot because she's in the other corner, but I can pan you over to her right here. Nora, my Gen 4, is technically a Baby Think It Over. The company was still called Baby Think It Over when they made her. In fact, they were still called Baby Think It Over when the original RealCare, or what has now been nicknamed the G6 or Generation 6 babies, came out. Around the time the RealCare 2s came out, the company changed their name from Baby Think It Over to Reality Works, because they started offering more than just the babies. They started offering not just like baby simulators, but they had nicotine simulators, they had welding simulators. I think those are the ones that they started out with, and now they have a wide variety of stuff besides just the RealCare babies. So the babies got rebranded as RealCares. So RealCare 2 on up. So the 2 Plus, and current one that's a 3 got rebranded as RealCare babies. And they have, like I said, a wide variety of other items that they sell now. I think they have like geriatric kits, nursing stuff. They have even for I seen recently that they sell simulators for even like veterinary care. So there's like a pig, a dog, and such like that, like models that you can take apart, like the human model. So anyways, they're the same dolls, and as I've mentioned before, the neonates are actually made off of the Baby Think It Over molds, or RealCare molds. It's a sister company, or I should say it was a sister company. Mary, who has passed away from, that was one of the co-founders, the husband and wife that founded Baby Think It Over, now Reality Works. Her sister came to her, and they decided to allow the sister to use the same molds to sell the neonate dolls. Because people kept coming asking if they could buy the Baby Think It Overs, and they didn't sell them. For a while they were selling open public, but they've gone back to not selling to the open public. But they allowed her to use the same molds and sell the play dolls as neonates. But to get to the question on where do you buy clothes for them, you can buy clothes for them anywhere. That's the lovely thing about these guys. I don't know why this keeps slipping down. I realize this is popped up. Maybe this will help. But you can buy clothes for them anywhere that sells baby clothes. As you can see, all of my babies, a bunch of them are still in their mother care, which came from the UK. All of their mother care is, I believe, check the size. up to 3 months, I think is what it's called. I can't remember their sizing. Oh, up to 1 month, I think. Let me check. Where? I just felt it. There's got to be a tag in here somewhere. They are up to 1 month size. So like if you go to H&M, you want to buy up to 1 month size as well. Because H&M sells European clothing sizes. But in the US, they wear from a, depending upon the company, newborn to 0 to 3 months. Like right now, Caitlin's outfit is 0 to 3 months, but it's a little bit big for her. And also Ming's outfit is a Carter's outfit, 3 months. That's a little bit big for him. It's a little bit baggy. And then, her passy keeps moving on me. Cayenne is a newborn size, and it fits her very nicely. Her top came from Walmart, and the pants came from Target. For Carter's is kind of a gray area. Things like their sleepers fit, newborn fit well. 3 months are going to be baggy like this. They're not too bad. They're just a little bit long. It doesn't really bother me, but I know it bothers some people. But they typically wear newborn very well. I don't have any in here with newborn on right now. But newborn fits them perfectly. Like, if it was a real baby, they wouldn't have anywhere to grow. You probably would be putting them in the 3 month size. For Carter's, if it was a real baby. But being they're not real babies and they don't really grow, the 3 months fits them nicely, or the newborn fits them nicely, except I do have a few outfits that are made that aren't like this stretchy cotton. They're the stiffer cotton. I don't think I have anything comparable. This might work. Like this dress. This is a mini Belton dress. It is size 6 to 12 months, but it actually fits them nicely. I'm just putting this up to pour dust you. It actually fits nicely, but it's this cotton that doesn't have any stretch to it. If you're getting a Carter's outfit that's like similar to that it's non-stretchy cotton, I would go up to 3 months, because sometimes I've had problems where, because their bodies are kind of boxy, it doesn't really fit around, and then you're able to button it in the back. Like, you can get it buttoned, but it's very hard. 3 months will just give you that little bit of extra room for them. So, and I know like some places, they don't sell anything but 0 to 3 months. Then just go with that. Some 0 to 3 months can be pretty big on them. Some can fit nicely. Some can fit small. There has been one brand that 0 to 3 months seemed to be more like a newborn size. I cannot remember the brand. I didn't have the outfit very long. But it just kind of varies. And sometimes you can squeeze them into preemie. Like right now, Tiffany is in this super cute Mother Care romper that is actually tiny baby size, which tiny baby is Mother Care's preemie size. So it fits her snugly. But if I had my choice, I would have either gotten new baby or up to 1 month in it. But all they had left was the preemie size, and I really wanted the bees, so I wanted the outfit, so I had to go with all they had left. The next question is, do you know if anyone has ever tried to reborn a RealCare baby? Yes, they have. In fact, my first RealCare, which was a Generation 6 baby, or RealCare 1. I actually had him reborn after I got him. The artist that I sent him to added eyebrows to him, added eyelashes to him, did his nails. She put a little bit of blushing on him. Now, this was back in the day before there was heat set paints and air dry paints. It was basically, you could go to Walmart and buy all the supplies you needed for reborning. Like to do lips, most people would buy, it was like glass, like kind of trying to make glass painting. It was in almost like puff paint type tubes, but it was for glass, and it was kind of glossy. People used that for lips, and they were just starting to get into rooting, and so most people still used wigs. So she glued a wig on him, and she used some acrylic paint, because like I said, you could go to Walmart and buy all the supplies. It was just your basic run-of-the-mill acrylic paint that you buy at Walmart for 97 cents a bottle. So she added a little blushing to his boy parts and his nipples, and a little bit in some of the creases. Like I said, then she added eyebrows, eyelashes, and glued the wig on. That was the most that I had seen on a RealCare. I know Crystal from Life with Crystal has added tips, eyelashes, I believe eyebrows, and a little bit more face blushing on some or on her RealCare 2 Veda. Haley came with the eyelashes and eyebrows, but I think she added fingernails on her. And I've also seen people that have actually taken the dolls apart, taken the electronics out, and tried to put them in a in a reborn kit. I just caution buyers. I know somebody like this was over 10 years ago, had taken an original RealCare Gen 6 apart and put it into a Welcome Home Emily. Now this was back when Reality Works was starting to let up on selling to the public, so people were able to buy them. What happened was the person, the reborn artist, took the doll apart. Something happened with the electronics, and by the time the buyer got it, the electronics weren't working. Like, she put the batteries in, and like it kept, like she said that like the head support. Okay, I have to move you guys so you can see Ming a little bit. I might have to move Ming. Okay, Ming is similar to a RealCare, original RealCare, with his head like this. So if he was on and his head went like this, he would start screaming because it was his head support. Well, being on the Welcome Home Emily, the reborn artist couldn't use this piece. She took the electronics out for the head support and put them into the Emily, just kind of at the back of the head. Well, the artist, or the buyer, said that every time she picked the baby up, even holding its head, it would scream that like its head support was, or like its head wasn't being supported. Then the mouth would not register for a bottle feed. And so the owner came back to the artist and said, hey, this isn't working. You know, every time I turn it on and just move the doll, it screams because of the head support, and the mouth doesn't register. Basically, the artist told the buyer to contact Reality Works because it was their software that was causing the issues. Well, once she contacted Reality Works, they basically said the doll was taken apart. It's no longer valid. The warranty's no longer covered. Everything's been voided. So then she went back to the seller, and it was just a huge mess. And I really felt for the buyer. But this was also, like I said, years ago, back before eBay required you to be using PayPal. PayPal was just getting known, and it was a payment option on eBay, but it wasn't required. So the seller or the buyer had sent a money order, so it was kind of a, if the buyer, or if the seller didn't want to return the money, the seller didn't have to return the money. There was no entity that could come down on the seller and say, hey, you must return this money, like PayPal. So basically, the poor buyer paid almost $2,500 for this Reborn Welcome Home Emily with Baby Think It Over, or with RealCare electronics, and it basically had a useless doll because it didn't work the way it was supposed to. So I have seen that. I personally, like, the most I would do with reborning a RealCare is, with the RealCare 2s, 2 pluses and 3s, their heads are attached. They're on this ball joint. And I'm sure there's a way, like, I'll flip them around. There's a way to get the head off. You probably can't see that. I'm going to move it up. There's a little spot here that you can probably pop the head off somehow. I'm not sure. I'm not about to venture to try to pop the head off that way. But I wouldn't, because then you still have to worry about the electronics in the mouth. So I would never root one. Plus, their heads are very hard. The neonates' heads are very soft, but these are made to be durable for the schools. So the school doesn't want softer vinyl. They want like the harder, durable vinyl. So Dusty's head is very hard compared to all the other babies, including me over here. But if you compare his head to the 2 RealCare pluses, the 2 Caucasian ones, they have like this harder vinyl head too. So it wouldn't be fun to root them. If you wanted to glue a wig on there, it's up to you. But I know when I first got Caitlin, who's sitting over here in the corner, you can still see some of the glue residue coming from Cynthia. She had a wig on her, and it was a horribly, horrible, bad wig. I know the wig was from like the early 2000s. When I first met Cynthia, Caitlin had this wig on her already. So it was a very bad, what were they made out of? Synthetic wig. So, I mean, it might be better to like glue a mohair wig on, or like an African baby, you know, get one with the curls or the textured hair. When I had my RealCare 2 Japanese girl, I had a wig on her for a while, but I ended up taking it off because, once again, it was kind of a bad synthetic wig. But like, you can take their arms and legs off of them. They're not hard to get off and on. I've done it before. Actually, my son accidentally popped a leg off one day. This was years ago. He was playing with it, and the one leg wouldn't go up, and he kind of forced it off, and the leg came off. I can get them back on, no issues. So I guess if somebody wanted to use like a heat set paint on the arms and legs, they could do that and bake it. On the body, if you would do the body, I would steer clear of the speaker, which is right here. But like, if you wanted to do like the nipples, I would be very, very careful. Honestly, I don't think I'd really blush the body much. But if somebody wanted to reborn one, I mean, they could give it a try. But like I said, taking the head off to like do the heat set paint and such, you're looking at, you're going to have to, I don't know how the electronics in the mouth is attached. So you'd have to take that off to bake that once you figure out how to get the head off. So it's not a risk I'm willing to take. I'm fine with them just the way they are. But if you found one and you wanted to try, I mean, any reborn artist, if you want to try, be my guest. Okay, the next comment is, they look so sweet and cute. Thank you. The next question is, what reborn do you like the most and why? You know, I really haven't looked at a lot of the reborns. There was one that Crystal showed me that it hasn't come out yet that I am interested in. It's the new Bonnie Brown kit that hasn't been released yet. I can't think of the name, but I think it's adorable. I know a lot of people like Saskia, where, you know, I like the face of Saskia, but I'm not really into babies with like fingers pointing. I don't know why. That drives me nuts. Just like thumb suckers. I don't like the thumb sucker thumb either. And I've seen some really bad Saskias out there, and I've seen some really good Saskias out there. I guess for me, it's just like everybody has a Saskia. In fact, even some people have 2 or 3 Saskias. So that kind of takes away, for Reborns, like I said, when it comes down to actual kits, you know what, even kit by kit, artist by artist, the same artist can make the same kit 3 times and it doesn't look alike. But like I said, it's a Bonnie Brown kit. Crystal had showed it to me. Let's see if I can find it quick. I'm trying not to make this video too long, but it's going to get longer than I thought. Okay. Let's see if I can find it on McPherson's website. I know that, like I said, Crystal had shown it to me, and I thought the doll was the kit was adorable. The prototype I was in love with. It is a toddler. I know that. I think it was, maybe it wasn't a Bonnie Brown. Let's try switching this up. So it says there's 13 pages. I don't want to go through all of them. Flip it backwards. Sorry guys, my phone is taking forever. It was a little boy toddler. No, that's not him. Auction just came up on eBay not long ago. Okay, I'm not finding. I don't remember the name of the kit. But yeah, like I said, it's a toddler that it was a boy on eBay recently, and it was the prototype on eBay. But I fell in love with him. And the reason why I fell in love with him is it looked like my son as a little boy. The one that was reborn. Still trying to see if I can find it, which I'm not having any luck. I know that it was on McPherson's website, but it didn't have an amount put in. Oh, that's not it. Okay, I'm not finding it. But it was a toddler doll that the prototype sold recently. I remember the pictures of the doll. It was like on a stroller. Or not a stroller, like one of those trike stroller things. But that would probably be my favorite Reborn kit right now. I might eventually buy one. I don't know. I'm kind of right now sticking to I still need 4 more of these guys to have all of them. Because my goal is to have one of each race and each sex. So like right now I currently have 2 Asians, 2 Caucasians, and 2 Native Americans. I still need Japanese, Hispanic, and then the African Americans. Then I will look into, then I might get into Reborns more so. I'm not sure yet. I have 3 kits that I need to get Reborn. So I'll probably do that before I look at buying some. The next question is, what is your dream baby and why, and do you have that baby? Currently, no, I don't have my dream baby. Absolute dream baby would be a more realistic full body silicone with a drink and wet system. The reason why I'm not like naming like a kit or a mold or an artist, because honestly that sometimes changes by week. Like I'll find one that I fall in love with and then find a different one that I fall in love with. I might also like one with armature. So I'm looking at like a $5,000 doll. I just like the realistic. I mean, personally, like I've got Ryan, who, while I'm thankful to have a full body silicone, she's squishy, but she doesn't have armature, so if I move her arm, it just flops back into the same position. And while she is, like I said, a full body silicone, she doesn't have like the drink and wet system. Would I use it all the time? Probably not, but you know, it's just nice to have there in case you want to use it for whatever reason. And then it would also be a boy. Like I said, I'm thankful I have Ryan, but I really wanted a newborn sized boy full body silicone, and I wound up with, or I wanted kind of a 0 to 3 month size, and she's more of a newborn where, you know, I don't have to look for preemie stuff for her, but she's not exactly, she was a want, but not exactly a dream baby, if that makes sense. So no, I do not have that baby. The next question is, I love them all, but if I had to choose, it would be the little girl on the left side and the back. She is so cute. I would love to have her. If you. Once again, I have mentioned in the past, she's talking about Nora. But if I have a baby for sale, I say it's for sale. None of these are for sale. Especially Nora will never be for sale. Nora is actually the last gift I got from my grandfather before he passed away. My grandfather got sick just before Thanksgiving and Christmas. We were able to have Christmas with him, and he passed away 2 days later. So I was thankful to have that Christmas with him. I actually bought her, my grandmother gave me the money to buy her, but it was a gift from my grandparents, essentially. My grandmother had the signs of Alzheimer's before my grandfather passed away, but with my grandfather passing away, it became more and more apparent. So my grandmother really hasn't been in sound mind since then. So really, essentially, she's the last Christmas present or last gift I've ever received from my grandparents. And I was very close to my grandparents, so that doll will never be going anywhere unless something happens to me and my daughter doesn't want it. But, I mean, the others are, some of them have special meanings, some of them just because I like them, it's because I want to collect them. Like Kaya down here, Yukito right there, and Caitlin. Those three are, excuse me, our very dear friend Cynthia, who has passed away. And we luckily found these two on eBay. Kaya, I actually had and didn't realize she was Cynthia's until afterwards. Right here, I think it's getting kind of cut off. Right here, Skylar. Skylar's the one that started it all. And he is actually the doll my husband used to propose to me. My mom was making fun of my husband, because my husband always, every time he came into town, he'd come into town, he'd pick me up, and we'd go to Walmart, because there was always something he needed to get that he forgot before he left, and she had teased him that he was probably going to propose to me in Walmart. And we were shopping, and we had taken Skylar. We had brought Skylar with. Right after I got Skylar, we kind of took Skylar everywhere with us when we go places. If it was just me, my husband lived like about 5-hour drive away. If it was just me, he would stay at home. But if it was my husband and I going places, like if we go to the movies or go to eat, we actually would bring him with. and I had a car seat for him. And anyways, my husband, we were in Toys R Us. Sorry guys, the camera cut off. What I was saying is, we were in Toys R Us and I came out of the bathroom and my husband actually had the ring on Skylar's thumb and he was down on one knee and there was a bunch of employees gathered around him. So that's how he proposed to me, was in Toys R Us with my doll. So, and this was a gift that he bought me for Valentine's Day that year. Actually, I had just gotten Skylar because the company closed on the 7th. I ordered him, or he ordered him on the 6th. It was right before they closed. And he got him, he had him sent to him, and he got into town on Valentine's Day, and he always told everybody, like he told my mom, he wouldn't propose to me on Valentine's Day because I was too cliche. So my mom was teasing me when he picked me up, when he said, she goes, yeah, right, you guys are going to Walmart, you're going to propose to her at Walmart on Valentine's Day. Well, he didn't, and he did it the next day at Toys R Us with the doll. And I don't remember why we were at Toys R Us. It was probably something baby related. But actually I think we were there to buy the playpen, which actually I had found neonates from. But yeah, so he's got special memories. Tiffany has special memories. She was a gift from my best friend for Christmas that same year. So I've got babies that mean stuff. This one I just bought because I was trying to collect them. That one I just bought because I was trying to collect them. Ming, because I needed an Asian boy and he was an electronic neonate, and I had some in the past. I don't really play with them, but I thought, you know, it would be fun for my daughter. And I've always wanted a native boy, RealCare 2 or RealCare 3, so that's why I got Dusty. But none of these babies are for sale. I do have the 2 babies that are for sale. Holden and Luna, which Luna's on eBay. And Holden is not on eBay yet. I probably will get him up eventually. But I don't give away babies. I've said that numerous times. I don't have the means to give away babies. I have the means to support my buying dolls for myself. And that may sound selfish, but I don't really, I mean, yes, I buy, it seems like I buy a lot very often because honestly, at the beginning of the year, I had Nora, I had Andreas, I had Tiffany, I had Skylar, and I had Ireland, and I had Luna. But I also had a Japanese boy, a different Japanese boy. He was a RealCare 2 Plus. I sold him, and then right after I sold him, oh, and then Kayana was actually here, but she was with my daughter's stuff. So I actually sold him, and then not long after we found Cynthia's babies, which her cousin actually basically lost money on them. If he made money, I think he made $5 on the dolls. Because once he found out we were her friends and these dolls meant a lot to us, he didn't want to make money on them. So basically, buying them, we paid for shipping and his PayPal fees and eBay fees. And then Ming actually was in a 2-set that came with a Japanese boy, which I did not need a Japanese boy since I had Yukito, but I knew Miss Kim loved it, so her and I went in together, and I was able to get Ming, and she was able to get her Yokio. And sorry guys, the battery died. But I was saying, Kim and I split the 2 electronic neonates, so she got Yokio is what she named her Asian boy, and I got Ming. And then With Dusty, I had always wanted a native boy. So he was actually a set on eBay with Holden. So I purchased them. And there was a little bit of irritants with them, which I did leave the seller neutral feedback for. Because the seller said that both dolls worked. When in reality, he couldn't, or he had to have known something was up. Because Holden had just one jinky battery. And when I say jinky, it looked like somebody tried to make a battery for him and it didn't work. And he's completely missing the second one. And Dusty had no batteries. But it was either to the point of sending them and everything back and getting a complete refund, or just leaving. I left neutral feedback. The seller, I even contacted them. I'm like, I'm irritated, to try to get a partial refund, being that they were missing the batteries. Even if the batteries were in them and the batteries were dead, I could take the batteries to get rebuilt, but being there was no batteries, how can I get them rebuilt? And the seller wouldn't even work with me that way. So yeah, I can't remember the seller's name on eBay, but I would definitely not recommend them. But anyways, I ended up not long after I bought them, somebody local to me was selling a RealCare 2 Plus with an extra set of batteries, but didn't have the charger. She had everything but the charger, and then she had these 2 sets of batteries. So, and the control, which I told her where to get that as well, or the X stick. But her and I met up, and I gave her one of my chargers, and because I have extra ones, and she gave me the batteries. So at least Dusty works now. Holden still doesn't. But anyways, that's why I'm not really selling them. The other comment that I had that was was DM'd to me was, what size clothes do they wear? I kind of answered that when I answered where to get clothes. Like I said, a lot of them right now are wearing Mother Care, which is a UK brand. We've got Carter's, we got Walmart, Gymboree. I have boutique brands like Kiki Pants and Zutano for them. And I've got like just basic Walmart onesie brand that are $2 for like a onesie, and $2 for a pair of pants from Walmart. Those newborn size fit them. But that's pretty much all I got for the Q&A, and it actually ended up being longer than I expected, and then my battery kept dying. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all later. Bye!